We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Welcome, coming to you live from the studios of LA Talk Live in sunny Los Angeles, California. This is Alayna's Beauty Talk and more, and I'm your host, Alayna. We're here to talk about beauty and more in all its expressions every Wednesday at noon Pacific time. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Alayna's Beauty Talk and more on LA Talk Live. We're more than just talk.
No more searching, love, I found it. Ended up with my heart and soul. About time that you know. If you just believe and see like I see, you'll know that the world is yours to own. Just follow my lead beyond material things. It's time to let you know you're better than beautiful.
The American Heart Association's Heart Walk is coming. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your coworkers. Help yourself and those around you to live longer, healthier lives. Form a team today and walk to help the American Heart Association defeat heart disease and stroke, two of the nation's leading killers. For more information, visit heartwalk.org.
Hey everyone, this is Richard Carr, Business Relations Manager for LA Talk Live. Did you know social media produces almost double the marketing leads of trade shows, telemarketing, direct mail, or even pay-per-click ads? And that about 46% of all online users count on social media when making that ever-important purchase decision. Hey, if you feel lost when it comes to social media, Top Tier Media can help you. Top Tier Media specializes in social media management and blogger outreach for beauty, fashion, health, and lifestyle brands. To learn more, go to www.toptiermedia.com. That's www.toptiermedia.com. Top Tier Media, the official social media marketing company of LA Talk Live and the Talk Live Broadcast Network. Young Connection, your one-stop connection for all your graphic design and commercial printing needs. Young Connection is a full-service printing and media design company dedicated to providing the highest level of customer service and satisfaction. Young Connection provides swift response and rapid turnaround services for banners, brochures, business cards, letterheads, church bulletins, funeral programs, flyers, logo design, posters, and much, much more, all at an affordable price. Young Connection, the official printing company of LA Talk Live. Give them a call at 310-491-3336. That's 310-491-3336, or visit their website at www.youngconnection.com. That's www.youngconnection.com. Young Connection Printing and Media Services, proud sponsors of LA Talk Live, where it's more than just talk.
My name is Emo Phillips, and along with the Glendale Philharmonic, we are truly and deeply honored this afternoon to present to you all one of the most charming symphonic tales ever to come out of the Stalinist regime. Sergei Prokofiev.
Welcome back to Alayna's Beauty Talk and More. This is definitely a beauty and more show. I've never had this many musical artists on my show at one time. I'm so excited. The show we've been planning for, 2-3 months now. Our very favorite world-renowned cellist is back. Sitting next to me is Ruslan. I do have to say a funny story. When we were putting together this show, I'm like, okay, you can have, the week before or the 27th. He goes, I want both. I'm like, I got too many shows. You can't have both. He loves coming on this show. And we're so thrilled to have him. This is about the third or fourth time you've been on, the third time you've been on the show.
Thank you for having us here.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited. Everybody, if you're not watching us and you're listening on YouTube, this will be up on my page later today or tomorrow at LA Talk Live. You have to see this room of handsome people. They are some of the top musicians and people involved in the music, I guess, industry. I was going to say industry in Los Angeles. It's amazing.
Not just in LA, worldwide, we should say.
In the cake.
Yeah, and the free cake. Yes.
That the last show, that was the biggest hit.
Yeah. Well, we will have free cake on our January 5th concert. All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Hanukkah. Next time we'll have Thanksgiving and Hanukkah on the same day. We'll be in 70,000 years from now. It's a big deal.
We'll be here. We'll be here. We'll be here.
None of us will be here except for Ruslan, who will be slightly bald by then.
We will have enough turkey.
And cake.
And cake, yes. All right. Well, we have an exceptional team of people here today. This is Maestro Frank Feta, our famous conductor.
Good to be here.
This is Sharon Farber. She is our phenomenal composer.
Hello, everybody.
There is Bill Vestal. Bill is one of the biggest, most successful producers in Los Angeles of, classical music concerts. He's doing Sundays Live in LACMA, Los Angeles County Museum of Art.
And Ruslan, I think you said it all. And on my right...
Yes. Armen Guzalimian, our phenomenal pianist. Armen and myself will be playing a concert in LACMA this coming Sunday.
I think it's our fourth one together, isn't
Yes,
it?
this is our fourth concert.
One.
And this is the 10th for me in LACMA, which is kind of a big deal. Apparently, I'm the only cellist ever invited to play in LACMA for 10 consecutive years. Thank you to Bill.
You're very welcome. We're looking forward.
Yes.
Well, you're such an amazing cellist.
Oh, thank you.
He did bring his cello and his everything to play, so hopefully we will have some time at the end of the show.
Yes, and we have free tickets for our January concert of Glendale Philharmonic, as usual. And the first caller will get 2 VIP tickets, free tickets, and the second caller will get 2 orchestra seats tickets.
You want to give out the
number? Phone number, people, write it down. 323-473-3100. Once again, 323-473-3100. You have to call with an interesting question to any of us or all of us. And whomever is the first wins the game.
Yeah, we did get a caller last time when you were on the show and did this. I forgot.
Yeah.
This show does, because it's a noon show, we don't get a lot of call-ins because a lot of people are firewalled. But maybe today, because it's a day before a holiday, we will get some more calls.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So we'll see. But we got so much to talk about. We can't worry about the callers. We got to get all this amazing information out to people so they know what's happening. I mean, most of these people work all over the Los Angeles area, not just... Well, you...
Not just in LA, worldwide,
Worldwide. Well, you're a world-renowned cellist, so...
We all.
Everybody.
Sharon just arrived from Israel. Armen was traveling as well. Frank is conducting all over the place, including Las Vegas, etc.
Yeah, so we got to get all this information out.
International theme.
So I just arrived from Mid-Wilshire, and I think everybody got here before I did.
Actually, I left really early thinking there'd be so much traffic because because we're out near the airport.
Yeah.
But it was easy.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess everybody's gone.
All the turkeys are cooked, I guess. So,
or people are in the stores right now buying them, one of the two. All right, Ruslan, where do you want to start? What do you want to, how do you want it to get this whole conversation going?
Okay, well, we have two major events coming up, right? We have Glendale Philharmonic concert on January 5th, which is Sunday, in Glendale, First Baptist Church of Glendale at 4 p.m. And Maestro Frank Vetter will be conducting. Glendale Philharmonic, Sharon Farber is writing a cello concerto. Now, Emo Phillips, famous comedian, who was supposed to be here today, but unfortunately he's flying to Hong Kong right now. We will hear his performance, hopefully, on the recording. He'll be narrating Carnival of the Animals.
And also Michael DeBar is going to be narrating some of my cello concerto. There's narration on my cello concerto as well, which was commissioned by Ruslan and the Glendale Phil.
Yeah.
Okay. And Michael DeBar, who's a well-renowned actor and singer, he just narrated the Frank Zappa with the LA Phil and the LA Massacre, and a bunch of great soloists not too long ago, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm very, very honored that he's going to be narrating the cello concerto. And the narration is written by Richard Steller and Beth Warnick, two great and dear friends. And I'd like to talk a little bit about that when we have a chance, because there's a very, very interesting and true story behind the concerto.
Okay, and when is that coming up?
That's January 5th.
Okay.
That's Sunday, January 5th. Now, what we should say, that normally cello concertos, when the soloist cellist comes on the stage and plays with orchestra, there is no narrator. It's highly unusual. As far as I know, there's no such concerto, right?
As far as I know,
not really, no.
Yeah,
you guys got to share the mic.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. Thanks, Sharon. Sharon's my technical engineer.
He's a conductor. He's used to standing in the other direction.
Oh, that's right. You're facing. Oh no, you're facing everybody when you're conducting.
Oh, I'm facing the orchestra.
Right.
But no one recognizes me. They only recognize me by my ponytail. So that's why.
That's how I recognize you coming up.
Exactly. But it's first of all, I think it's very unusual, first of all, to get a new cello concerto. There are precious few cello concerti. And it's interesting, too, that the companion piece that we're doing on the concert, which is the Carnival of the Animals, it has a wonderful solo for cello. And Saint-Saëns himself wrote a wonderful cello concerto, which I know that Ruslan has done many times.
We did it together, actually.
Did we do it together?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Okay, I'll have to check.
I'll
have to check all my back program. That's right. We did, but so it's wonderful that another cello concerto is being born. In January, good month for a birth too, right?
Yeah. I was at the last concert at the Glendale Baptist Church. And I loved it. It was so.
Did you like the cake?
Yes. Yeah. I only had a little bit. I'm not a big sweet eater. But the people I was with, they all had 2 or 3 pieces. They loved it. They talked about it the whole way home.
Yeah, the Billy's Deli is bringing the cake on January as well. So whomever, doesn't like the music, you'll get the cake.
But the music was incredible. And the church is beautiful. It's a wonderful place.
It's a wonderful venue,
to hear a concert. And you just don't get music like that, just beautiful music for 2 hours.
Well, I think, too, on this concert, and Sharon can tell us more because obviously she's the creator of this new concerto, this is going to be an unusual cello concerto. I don't think any cello concerto has been conceived yet that actually has 2 pianos in it. Yes. This might also be a groundbreaking moment for the repertoire for that particular instrument.
Is the second piano going to be outside in the other room?
Well, actually, this was your idea, Ruslan, and I think it's a beautiful idea. So we have one piano on stage, and the other piano is going to be in another room. So it will be kind of a little bit of an echo. And the reason, I might as well just talk about the concerto a little bit. The story behind the concerto is the story of a wonderful man named Kurt Lowens. Kurt Lowens was a Jewish boy that his family escaped to Holland during the Holocaust. And his family, of course, separated, and then they reunited. His mom died in a hospital. And just before they got deported into the camp, they were able to escape. And he was hidden in a farm in Holland. And one day he saw how the Nazis are shutting down an airplane, American airplane, and there was a parachuter, American soldier parachuting. And he ran to the place where this pilot was landing and got to him before the Nazis did and saved his lives and hid him for a long time in a haystack in this farm in Holland. And then he ended up saving another life, another American pilot's life. And then he went on to save a lot of Jewish children's lives. And later on, he spent years reuniting them with the remains of the families after the Holocaust. And at the end, he came to Hollywood and became a very well-known actor. Kurt is 88 years old, is sharp, he's an amazing person, and I met him. I'm a music director of a temple in Beverly Hills called Temple of the Arts. And during Yom Kippur, the rabbi, Rabbi David Barron, reunited Kurt with the children and grandchildren of this pilot who already passed on. But it was such an amazing moment. Everybody was in tears because it was so moving that these people wouldn't be alive, they wouldn't exist, save the bravery of this man. It was just an amazing moment. So after that, I called Kurt and I said, I would really like to base my concerto on your story. Would that be possible? And he not only gave me his blessing, he is unable to be at the premiere, but hopefully we will have more performances and he will be narrating his own story.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
And then the thing
it's
is
an
that
amazing story.
Then I got a phone call from Sharon, and she goes, "Okay, I have an idea. This concerto is going to be... Are you a pilot and I fly airplanes?"
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm the only Russian cellist that has American pilot's license.
Wow.
So that's even ties everything
So
together.
yeah, and you are a pilot. Yes. Okay, this concerto is going to be about a pilot. Okay. So
well,
yeah.
actually, the man who saved the pilot.
Man who saved the pilot. Am I going to be the man who saves the pilots on the stage,
Yes,
or I will be one of the pilots?
No, you are the man who saved the pilot. And going back to your idea about the two pianos, I wanted one of the pianos in another room because the other piano will be actually representing of Kurt's memories in a way, the echoes of his memories.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, how can people get tickets for this and find out about this?
GlendalePhilharmonic.com, GlendalePhil.com, or just Google our names.
Oh yeah, just Google your name.
Yeah.
That's real easy. You say that every show.
Yeah, or call our
check.
phone 323-663-3601. Tickets are on sales. By the way, Black Friday is coming up, and we will have up to 50% discounts. We have student discounts, student tickets of $1, including free cake. So yes, check imophillips.com, Imo's website. He will have discounts for his fans as well as his Facebook pages. I think the easiest way to get the tickets, actually, honestly, believe it or not, to simply Google Glendale Philharmonic or any of our names, Ruslan Birukov or Frank Feta or Sharon Farber, what else? Imo Phillips, any of those names. Now, I hope we have a hidden desire here with the hope maybe we will be able to perform this concerto sometimes in LACMA the next.
That's a dream and a hope. But, I'm sitting here between lots and lots of talent, obviously, but I'm sort of sitting here, especially between two special people at this point. I'm sitting between Ruslan, obviously, and Armand on my right. And for those of you who don't know, and most of you probably do, but I produce something for LACMA, which is called Sundays Live. It's a free chamber music series that happens every Sunday at 6 o'clock, and it started a long time ago, not at LACMA, and we're probably in about our 70th or I think 71st year now. Ruslan is saying that he's coming up on his 10th anniversary at LACMA, but on Sundays Live /LACMA, but I think Armin, we go back a lot farther than that. We go back to when Sundays Live was not at LACMA, when it was at Barnsdall Park, and
we're very well preserved, I think.
Speak for yourself.
I was trying to give you a compliment.
But I think that it's nice to think about the history of what's been going on and it's happened with Sundays Live and the talent that's been there over the years, and to be able to say that this Sunday we're going to continue that tradition with the performance by Armin and by Ruslan, and it's our great pleasure to host that performance.
Well, it's thanks to you that we met. You're the one that gave Ruslan my name. Bill is the
Oh yeah, Bill is the one who introduced us. Yes. Oh, there's
okay.
something with the microphone.
Is the mic on? Is it okay now?
Is that okay? Yeah. So we thank you for this.
Well,
it's our fourth concert at Live Now Together on Bill's series.
Yeah, so anytime I can be a musical matchmaker, it's always interesting because you have a barrel full of musicians or a plethora of musical pleasures, and if you can sort of say, gee, I wondered maybe that person can play with that person, and there you have the sum then becomes equal to more than whatever it is.
But
Someone help me out on that one.
What we have to add, remember our first show when you were talking, okay, we need these concerts that easily accessible. Well, this is the concert series that beyond is like, it's free. It's in the Bing Theater, Leo. Bing Theater every single Sunday, 6 p.m. And we are talking about world-class musicians that Bill gets there, God knows how. It's really I produce myself, so I know how challenging it is. And to put out, about 40 shows.
Almost, I think, 50 now. 50 concerts a year. Christmas and New Year's, we're not there.
He produces 50 concerts a year that broadcasted live on the radio.
Well, actually streamed live, but these days, yeah. One of the last classical stations went under, unfortunately. So, but we were streamed live.
Oh, wait. Okay, finish your thought, and then we have a caller, so we got to.
Oh, good.
We don't want to leave them on.
We're streamed live every Sunday, and all one has to do is go to lacma.org, and they can listen to our program without having to come. But of course, we want them to come and hear.
You want to? It's much more fun when you're there live. But let's take this caller so we don't have them staying on the line. Okay, caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm really intrigued by this concerto. And I was wondering if there's any way we could, any place we could hear Ms. Farber's work, other things she's done.
Sure. Actually, my career is divided between concert music and film music. I do a lot of film music as well as concert music, but I make sure that I do both because I love both. So a lot of music can be heard on my website, my concert music and my film music, SharonFarber.com, and which was, by the way, designed by Richard Steller, my friend Richard Steller, and he's great.
Your website is beautiful. I looked to see who designed it. But spell your last name for this caller and for the listeners.
Sure, it's F as in Frank, A-R, B as in boy, E-R, Farber. And it's a pretty common name in American name. Although I'm Israeli originally, I'm from Israel, and my father's name is mostly kind of Belarusia, as we used to say, the border of Russia and Poland, and it means painter in German actually, and in Yiddish it means painter. But yeah, Sharon Farber. But that's why I'm not really Sharon. I'm Sharon. This is my name, and I think everybody in the industry knows me as Sharon and not Sharon. And it's just, I wanted to say something very important. I don't think that people understand what a collaborative effort making music is. We composers, without these wonderful performers, we need the performers to play our music. We need the conductors to play our music, to conduct our music, and we need wonderful people like Bill to put this together so people can come in here. And it's not only being a composer or being a performer, it's all about this creative collaboration, which is just it's a miracle, and it's so beautiful, and I'm so honored to be a part of it.
Is our caller still there? Are you still there, caller?
No, he's gone. But do we have his contact? Because he won the 2 tickets.
He did?
Oh. Yeah. So we have his contact. Okay.
I just wanted to say this because
you can put your hat on over the headphones if you want. You're just you want to put your hat on?
Oh no.
Okay.
I like this fashion statement, but for now I can put this on anytime.
We love you with the red beret. You look so
well,
French.
I can put it on top.
That's right. we laugh a lot on this show.
But apropos of Sharon Staben, I had the pleasure several years ago to do a concert of all women composers. And one of Sharon's pieces was on this program. It's called Translucent Rocks. And it's very evocative because it refers to the rocks outside of Jerusalem, which have kind of a luminescence to them. And it's a beautiful piece. So I think the project that we're doing on January 5 is especially wonderful because not only do we get another cello piece, another cello concerto, but we also get the composer to be there to guide us through some of the process, as she did with me on Translucent Rocks. So it's very, very helpful to get this really authentic, I think, performance. We hope that we'll do it justice, obviously, but at least we have the composer there to guide us through the process. So this is a good thing.
And the free cake.
And free cake.
I must say something. A few years ago, I wrote a piece in memory of Daniel Pearl, who, a journalist who was kidnapped and murdered. His father is a friend of mine. And I wrote this a cappella piece that was picked up by the LA Master Chorale with Grant Gershon. So on the program, it was Verdi, Schubert, Britten, and Farber, and I didn't know what I'm doing, among these legends and giants. But I must say, it's really good to be the only living composer on a dead composer's program.
So the composer who still composes, not decomposes.
Decomposes.
And speaking about the program, maybe we can mention our program on this Sunday. Yeah, Armin, I think it would be the best to actually...
I think it's a very exciting program. It's all 20th century music. We're starting with the cello arrangement of Stravinsky's Suite Italienne, which is based on the ballet Pulcinella of Stravinsky, which is in turn taken from themes of the Baroque composer Pergolesi. And this arrangement was inspired by the great Russian cellist Gregor Piatigorsky, who I actually did know
whose widow's car I used to own.
And then we're doing the Benjamin Britten Sonata in C major, Opus 65. And as we all know, it's the centenary celebration of the birth of the great British composer. And it's a very exciting piece. And then in between, we're doing an Armenian composer, one of the most famous, who just died only last year, in March, Alexander Arutyunian. And this is a poem for cello, and this is his own arrangement from the version for orchestra, and this is for cello and piano. So it's Stravinsky and Arutyunian, who is best known worldwide for his trumpet concerto, more than other pieces. And then we finish with the Benjamin Britten.
No, we will be finishing with encores.
if we play well.
If we play well, yeah.
And there's no cake.
No concert, no cake, no concert. Very simple.
What time should people get there to make sure, Bill, that they get a seat?
Well, we normally open the doors at 5:45, but I think perhaps since I think this is going to be well attended, that perhaps 5:30 might be a better bet.
Yeah, because I don't want people to not be able to get in, so I would say get there early.
Yeah, usually our concerts are sold out. Right?
So to speak.
So to speak, yeah. Yeah, it will be. Now, Britten Cello Sonata, interesting piece, right? Was inspired by, Britten was on the concert with Shostakovich, famous Soviet composer, and Rostropovich, one of the greatest cellists of 20th century, was performing first concerto by Shostakovich. Britten was so inspired by the music that he actually composed a cello sonata. It's a 5-movement piece, a lot of special effects, unusual kind of music, to tell the truth, but very, very effective, very effective. I hear some music there.
Yeah, it means we're going to take a break, but you can finish your thoughts.
Okay.
This is actually from a film I scored called When Nietzsche Wept, which I recorded actually in Bulgaria with the Bulgarian Symphony Orchestra. And it's based on a book by Erwin Yalom that I read when I was 17. And I said, maybe one day someone will make a film out of it and I will score it. And that actually what happened, I guess, the power of your subconscious mind or something. And it's a wonderful, wonderful film and wonderful book, which I highly recommend to read because it can change your lives.
And the name of the book?
When Nietzsche, the philosopher Nietzsche, wept. When Nietzsche wept.
Okay,
Beautiful
now,
book.
okay. All right, everybody. So we are going to take a short break, and we will all be back to talk more music. You know, because music is beauty. It's really great for the soul, especially this time of year with people so stressed out.
About Turkey?
About Turkey, about Hanukkah, about Christmas, New Year, just, you know, everything kind of comes together. Everything kind of speeds up this time of year. So it's a wonderful way to relax and do something different, do something good for your soul. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Alayna's Beauty Talk and more on LA Talk Live. We're more than just talk.
Thank you for tuning in to LA Talk Live, reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we're more than just talk. Stay tuned.
Josh Lane and Dr. Hans Kugler of Here's to Your Health, in conjunction with A4M, the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, invite you to attend the 21st Annual World Congress on Anti-Aging Medicine, December 12th through 15th at the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas. Check it out at worldhealth.net. That's worldhealth, one word, .net. And while you're there, sign up for the free longevity newsletter. Just look for the bouncing red ball. At worldhealth.net, also print out a page about the Las Vegas Congress and pass it along to your doctors. More than 3,500 healthcare professionals will convene at the Las Vegas Congress, where they will teach and demonstrate with hundreds of exhibitors about every anti-aging modality. Be sure to attend the World Congress on Anti-Aging Medicine, December 12th through 15th at the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas. Presented by the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. Visit worldhealth.net for more details. The 21st Annual Congress on Anti-Aging Medicine, proud sponsors of Here's to Your Health with Josh Lane and LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hey everyone, this is Richard Carr, Business Relations Manager for LA Talk Live. Did you know social media produces almost double the marketing leads of trade shows, telemarketing, direct mail, or even pay-per-click ads? And that about 46% of all online users count on social media when making that ever-important purchase decision. Hey, if you feel lost when it comes to social media, Top Tier Media can help you. Top Tier Media specializes in social media management and blogger outreach for beauty, fashion, health, and lifestyle brands. To learn more, go to www.toptiermedia.com. That's www.toptiermedia.com. Top Tier Media, the official social media marketing company of LA Talk Live and the Talk Live Broadcast Network. Young Connection, your one-stop connection for all your graphic design and commercial printing needs. Young Connection is a full-service printing and media design company dedicated to providing the highest level of customer service and satisfaction. Young Connection provides swift response and rapid turnaround services for banners, brochures, business cards, letterheads, church bulletins, funeral programs, flyers, logo design, posters, and much, much more, all at an affordable price. Young Connection, the official printing company of LA Talk Live. Give them a call at 310-491-3336. That's 310-491-3336, or visit their website at www.youngconnection.com. That's www.youngconnection.com. Young Connection Printing and Media Services, proud sponsors of LA Talk Live, where it's more than just talk.
Welcome back to Alayna's Beauty Talk and More. This has been and is an amazing show. We have another caller, so I want to bring them on so they don't stay on hold. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi. How are you?
Good, good. How are you today?
Oh, we're all fine. We're having an amazing conversation here around LA Talk Live table. Do you have a question for Ruslan or any of the other amazing people sitting at this table today?
And what's your name?
My name is Sandra, and I have a question for all of the performers. I've seen you before at the Glendale Church, and I thought the concerts were just wonderful. I've gone to all the seasons concerts the last 3 years, and I want to thank you for bringing that music to Glendale. But the question I have for all the performers are, what was it that made you start playing your musical instrument that you're playing? Like, Armin, what made you want to play the piano, and Ruslan, the cello, and Frank, what made you want to conduct?
Okay, that's going to take up our whole show.
Well, that's a wonderful question, and thank you so much for coming to our concerts. We love our fans. Thank you very much. And you win 2 free tickets.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Great job.
I will look forward to this concert. I was going to buy my tickets on Black Friday, but now
we lost some money now.
See, that's your idea to give out the call.
They go on sale at midnight. Right?
Yes.
Make sure to leave your information that we could contact you with the tickets.
Yeah, give at least the phone number so we know how to get back in touch with you. You know what? Let's answer her because I actually asked kind of that question during the break. That's so funny that you called. So, Ruslan, just give like a quick sentence. We'll go around the table to what inspired you to start doing your careers.
I cannot answer it with one sentence, unfortunately.
How about one word?
Money.
Money. That's the
So how's that going?
I was planned to be a pianist. My mother is a pianist. But they, when they took me to the music school, I was so stressed and scared on the entrance exam. It was Soviet Union. That time education was free over there for talented children. For not talented, it wasn't free at all. So they asked me to sing something, to clap. I couldn't do anything. I was in the shock. And they told my mother that I couldn't hear well, I didn't have sense of rhythm, and in fact they were suspecting that I'm a little bit, something isn't right there. Yes, so they announced that my parents would have to pay a lot of money. I remember, Soviet Union, 25 rubles a month for piano lessons. For comparison, my mother's salary was 100 rubles a month, so it was 1/4 of my mother's salary. My mother said, absolutely not. So the director of the school called and said, okay, look, piano lessons, 25 rubles a month. Cello lessons, 7 rubles per half a year. My mother thought a little bit, said, okay, we'll give it a try. That's why when people ask me now, what made you, to play cello? I said, money. It was cheaper to play cello than piano, being not talented in Soviet Union. Well, few months through, they understood that I had perfect pitch and perfect memory, etc. So at that point, we didn't have to pay anything, but the choice was made, So that's my story. What's yours?
Well, this is Frank. Thanks, Sandra, for supporting the Glendale Phil. That's great. We had a piano at our house. There was a piano and a very pushy Italian mother. And so I sort of gravitated toward it. And then she said, you want to take lessons? Sure, fine. And I found after 3 months I was already playing recitals. So, but it was interesting. The piano was not for me, actually. I didn't have that much interest, except as a way of getting dates and people liked the fact that I played the piano. But it was not thrilling to me. And then at a certain point, about 17 or 18 years old, I decided I want to be a conductor. And I started conducting the shows at high school and so forth. And I found that this was just more satisfying. It enabled me to be with people rather than practicing endless hours alone. And so I'm happy that I continued in the conducting. I still play the piano. I just did it Sunday, actually. And I still enjoy it, but now I don't have that burden of having to practice at all. So it's really great. And I can work with great people like we have at the table.
This is Sharon, and actually I started as a pianist as well. I come from a very musical family. My grandparents, my grandfather used to play guitar, and my grandmother used to play mandolin, and they would have these wonderful concerts at home. And I have an uncle who is a very, very well-known composer and songwriter in Israel, very, very well-known and kind of a celebrity, I guess. Wonderful composer. So when I was about 7, my mom said, would you like to play the piano? It was me and my sister. She was 9 years old, and we started together. And after about 2 years, my sister said, I really don't want to do it anymore. And my mom said, well, would you like to continue? I said, well, yeah, why not? Because I loved it and I enjoyed it. But at one point, and I went to an art high school, but at one point I felt that I was not meant to be a concert pianist. And to sit and play other people's music all the time and practice 8 hours a day, it was just not me. And somehow I started being interested more in composing, and that's how that kind of came about. I met someone who was doing some film music, and he got me hooked. And when I went to Berkeley, it was clear to me that I would do film music, but I also love to be independent of visual picture and just be myself and my imagination and my soul, I guess, and put that into music. But yeah, I always knew that to be a performer, you have to be so dedicated to practicing, and you have to know that it's just, you have to do it. And as my mom's always said, you know, how did she say it? She said 90% talent, no, 90% work and 10% talent is better than 90% talent and 10% work.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Okay, Bill, and then.
Well, I started off, I guess I started off to be some kind of musician. I don't know. I was, I could sing. I had a good ear. I could replicate notes out of my mouth that I heard in my head when I was a little kid. And so I was trundled off to some little old lady to learn piano. And she started explaining to me how to read the notes off the staff and that kind of thing. That wasn't interesting to me at all because I could hear things and play them. So I started hearing things and playing them. And she said, Billy, you must not play by ear. Well, those piano lessons lasted maybe 6 weeks or something like that. Maybe I was 5 or 6 or something like that. So we tried again when I was about 8. And we had, with a much more liberal-minded piano teacher who unfortunately descended to the same depths of you must not play by ear. So that was that. So then I played the violin for a while. But unfortunately, I had lousy coordination. I had a good enough ear to know that I couldn't play in tune, but I couldn't do anything about it. So that lasted, I don't know, until I was in high school or something like that. Then I decided I could sing. So then I became a singer. And then all that put into one basket and you shake it up, and what do I do now? I produce concerts. There we are.
And we're very grateful for that.
Somebody's got to produce all this wonderful talent. Producing's hard.
And I let somebody else do all the work. And I have all the fun.
Well, speaking of playing by ear, that's how I started. I was 5 years old, and I was picking out melodies I heard on the radio on my grandmother's little organ. And I could barely reach the keyboard, but it became clear to everybody in the family that I had some kind of ear, and they decided to buy a piano for me, and I started lessons at 7. And I come from a completely non-musical family, but they appreciated music, and they used to play nice old 78s of classical music, and that was one of the ways that my mother tricked me into eating oatmeal, is by distracting me by playing old 78s. At that time, they were not old.
And where were you? You weren't born in the United States.
No,
then.
I'm from an Armenian family born in Cairo, Egypt.
Okay.
And that's where all this happened. So I started piano lessons at age 7, and I guess I did not particularly enjoy practicing, but I had to change my.
But you still you have to practice now.
Absolutely, more than I ever have.
we rehearsed today before the show. We had a rehearsal.
So that's the story on that. It didn't involve money, and sometimes it still doesn't. Unfortunately.
So, Armin, do you still eat oatmeal? That's the question.
Okay.
Very rarely.
Okay, guys, we got to laugh, but we got to continue the show. So we have to say goodbye to the callers. So any final words to Sandra? I think that's her name.
Come back on our concerts.
Yeah. This is Sandra. Thank you.
Before
Thank
you go,
so much
Sandra.
for sharing
Sandra,
your
come up and-
stories.
Sandra?
And, Armin, I will see you Sunday at the Sunday's live concert.
Wonderful.
And bring you some oatmeal cookies.
As long as they're gluten free.
Before you go,
Okay,
Sandra.
I will make sure they're gluten free. Thank you.
Before you go, Sandra.
And I will watch the rest of your show here.
Thank you.
We wanted to know what she plays, but maybe we'll never know.
Is she still there? Sandra.
Oh, she's gone. I think she's gone. Okay. Yeah, just in case we get more callers, we only have one line calling in.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right.
All right, Ruslan, now what? You kind of, because I wanted to say, well, let's go to this because we're kind of on that. I always like to inspire people through my show. I mean, I have this 90 minutes every Wednesday, and I know I have a lot of moms that listen. So if you have, and I want the guests to kind of do a short discussion about if you have children that you think are, musically inclined, or, maybe you're a closet musician that wants to, kind of go to the next step. Do you have any advice for moms, for people that want to, kind of take the next step? What's the best? What you got children? How did
Yeah, I've got a child. He always he's a very natural musician, but I always recommend to parents that hopefully you'll have something around the house. You'll have a piano, you'll have an organ, you'll have a keyboard, you might have a violin, you might have an accordion. Maybe a snare drum or a couple of drumsticks, or an old trumpet, something that the kid could be led to, and that hopefully they'll perhaps demonstrate some aptitude for this particular art form. Or perhaps you suddenly, for example, one of my grandchildren replicates vocal pieces. He'll hear them on radio, TV, and he replicates them and has a beautiful kind of a beautiful, nascent voice. So it's always hopeful that the parents will observe this and then give the full opportunity for that child to explore that. And a lot of the kids may not go into that. They may want to be athletes. They may want to be computer experts, lawyers, doctors, whatever, soldiers. I don't know. But I think if they have something in the house that will lead them to it, almost as a toy, you start that way. As I did with the piano, it was like, oh, gee, that's interesting. How does that sound? Oh, that's kind of fun, isn't it? And you start picking up melodies, tunes, harmonies, whatever. So I think that begins the yearnings for the musical art.
I think what you're saying is that if there's any kind of instrument around, the first thing it's the
tactile,
feel.
yes.
It's tactile. It's the feel and the touch.
Right.
And if they can grab the trumpet or the guitar and strum a string and see what it feels like, that might get them excited.
Right. Also, I know personally, right now I'm involved in a grant situation with the Irvine Foundation, and I have to do these community conversations with people who are not necessarily musical, although what I found in these, I have to do 8 of them. And what I find among these people is that they have all had some connection to music. Maybe there was an old guitar in the house, maybe an old violin, or maybe in school they got some lessons on the flute or something like that. And then they all say, oh, I really like music, although I'm not a professional musician. And they say, we love to come to concerts, but we like to bring our whole family. This is another way. If the whole family can participate somehow in a musical experience, perhaps one of the members of the family, namely the children, will be led to recreating that in their own life, or at least developing an appreciation for it. So I think it begins very, very early.
In this sense, our January 5th concert is very much family-oriented program. Keep in mind there will be Carnival of the Animals. That's the piece very much enjoyed and by adults and children, narrated by a comedian. It will be very funny. It's a very clean comedy, stand-up comedy. There is no vulgarities of any kind. It's all nice and it's really funny. So please come on January 5th. Bring children. Don't be afraid to bring children on the concerts, even if they were just born a few weeks ago. Bring them on the concert.
At the concert I was at, there were a lot of children, a lot of very young children.
Yes.
And they loved it.
In spite of the fact that it was contemporary music, just recently composed, we had a pretty heavy repertoire, as a matter of fact, but they loved it.
They loved it.
Yes.
I was, watching in the audience, and
Now,
they
speaking
loved
about
it.
instruments, by the way, it's a good idea. But what I wanted to mention, many parents say, "Oh, to buy an instrument." Some families don't have any instruments. Right? They think, "Oh, to buy an instrument, so much money. We don't have that kind of money." Look, go on Craigslist and simply get electric piano. You can get it for $20-$50, and this thing isn't that easy to break when the child is, a child and wants to, some kids like breaking things. It's not a big loss.
I think one of the most important things, if you
Come a little closer to your mic.
If you want to have your child play, it's so important to have someone who has the right attitude to children. Because if it's not the right teacher, if it's a teacher that treats kids as adults, it's going to kill their passion for music. And I think it's really important to find someone who is gentle, who can make, especially in young ages like 5, 6, it needs to be something that they look forward to, that it has the education part of it as well as the playing part of it. Like I have a daughter, she's 2 and 9 months. And she loves banging on the piano, and she knows that down there it's the bears and up there it's the birds, and it has to be. And she plays. My husband is a drummer, so we have a drum room, so she bangs on the drums. Everything. I mean, her favorite piece is Strauss. She the waltz. She sings Strauss all the time, and she conducts Beethoven. I mean, but that's because I make it available for her.
But she's going to be a cellist, right?
Of course. That's after, I have this argument with all my friends. Everybody, she's going to be a violinist. No, she's going to be a cellist. Everybody wants her.
You better have another baby,
Yes,
so you got to have a
exactly.
little orchestra.
Right. So that's for the youngest, the young children, because, if you have a very tough teacher who would hit them on the hand or something, like, some teachers do, especially,
Where points you on? I don't hit
because
my students. My
because
students like
many
me.
I think it's some of the Russian techniques are very tough. Now I had at the beginning I had a teacher that I loved, but she wasn't really a good teacher. So when I was 14, I moved to someone else. I got accepted to this art school, and they said, "You're talented, but you only get accepted if you change your teacher." So I went to another teacher who was Russian, who I loved dearly. She was also a composer, Sarah Fagin. She passed away a few years ago. But at that point, I was ready. But, you have to know which age is appropriate for what.
What's a good way to, look for, a teacher or an instructor through references?
Yeah.
References,
yes,
definitely
yes.
references, yes.
And then look on the record of the teacher.
Yes.
See if the students have succeeded, won some kind of competitions, or participate. Come on the good enough teacher always will have student recitals going on throughout the year. So come on those student recitals, and you will hear other students playing, and you can meet those students, those parents, talk to them, and see how they. Do not, what I would like to urge, do not make a choice of the music teacher based on the location. Because many parents say, okay, well, there's a teacher next door to us. Right. So it's the closest. That's why we will be, going a big mistake. I actually have some students driving from Irvine, from Redlands. I'm proud to say that I have a pool of really excellent students right now. I just had three students of mine winning international competitions, and 2 of them will be playing in Carnegie Hall
Now, if somebody's interested in cello, how do they find you
easy.
Teach their children or child?
How to study with me?
Yes.
Simply Google my name. Or go on my website called celloart.com. It's CELLOART.com. In fact, I am planning to build a page there, sort of with advices to the parents how to make appropriate choice of the teacher. Then it's good to simply talk to the teacher and ask questions. So don't be afraid of asking questions. I have many times people would call, we are not music savvy. We know nothing about music. We don't know what to do. Well, ask simple questions. Ask the teacher, what do you think what the music is, what the art is, what's your style of teaching? and then think if it will match with the student. Then I also suggest, even if you feel that it might not be a perfect match, but you know that this is a successful mentor, successful teacher, take a couple of lessons, see how it goes. At least try.
And also for older kids who are really interested in studying music more seriously, they will have sometimes, or even if you're more, 18, 20, whatever, and people will tell you, oh, you can never go into music because you're always going to be poor and you're not going to make any money and, that and that. So first, in every profession, if you don't dedicate yourself, you're going to stay poor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do in life. If you have the dedication and you're willing to work hard and you're patient and you do your best on everything, every project or everything that you're involved with in your art, you're going to make it eventually. It might might take more time than going to work in a bank, but you will succeed if this is really what you want to do. So don't be afraid of the notion that artists, the starving artist syndrome. It's really not there anymore.
Even with that in mind, I keep repeating, UCSD made a research a few years ago in San Diego public schools. The kids that were actively exposed to music making, we were doing with all other subjects on a 40% better.
Usually math even,
yes,
especially.
Correct.
Yes.
And I think it's much more than a career orientation, because in society we need the arts so much, and that it's to help them grow spiritually and their soul, and to find out who they really are and to blossom as people. Whether they ever perform publicly and get paid for it or not is not the issue.
No, but what I'm saying, if someone wants to go into the art of music, or, of art in general, don't be afraid and don't be discouraged by people who will tell you it's not possible. Just believe in yourself, in what you can do, and go and learn from people who you look up to. And just be inspired by these people, and don't be afraid if you like someone, and if you think, here's this great cellist, don't be afraid of writing an email saying, this is what I'm thinking of. Can you give me an advice? Don't be afraid. It's all possible.
Yes, and I think that the future of the world in general, whoever wants to be successful, we will have to be creative. It's not good enough to have just a good craftsmanship in us. People have to be, particularly in the countries like United States, like European countries, and there is no better way to teach children to be truly creative, positively creative, but through the arts, through the music in particular. Just think of it. I'm telling you, Osama bin Laden, right? The guy was pretty creative. The problem was that his creativity was channeled in a path of destruction. Just imagine if we would give him a cello and would get him to play Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, Sharon Farber, we would know very different Osama bin Laden. I can guarantee you that.
But Hitler was the same. He was a pianist. He was
Was
not
he?
pianist, painter. I meant.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to play cello. Play cello.
Rejected. That's right. Maybe that's why everything happened.
Don't ever cross an artist.
That's right.
But you can be an artist that then end up in the production end of it too. There's a lot of different ways to go. You may think you're going to start one way, but it takes you down a completely different path that's more for you. But you have to start. We are going to take a break.
Important thing is to immerse yourself in the music, however you do it.
And there's a lot of free stuff in LA.
Yes.
So remember that. Doesn't all have to cost a fortune. But yes, we're getting the signal we have to take a break. So when we come back, we will continue this conversation. Bill, are you going to stay with us? You're going to. Okay, so thank you for coming on. Can he have one last time to talk about the concert? One last word about the concert to remind everybody.
Just a quick reminder that this Sunday, 6 o'clock at LACMA, LA County Museum of Art. The series is called Sundays Live, and we have Ruslan Buryakov, cellist, Armen Guzalimian, pianist extraordinaire, and we'd love to see you there.
And please arrive early enough because it's going to be full house.
And it's free.
And there's a cake.
No cake. Cake is on January concert.
Maybe frosting.
Yeah. It's a Leo Bing Theater in LACMA.
Okay. All right, so we better take a break before Richard, our producer, gets very mad at us. So everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Alayna's Beauty Talk and more on LA Talk Live. We're more than just talk.
many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Josh Lane and Dr. Hans Kugler of Here's to Your Health, in conjunction with A4M, the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, invite you to attend the 21st Annual World Congress on Anti-Aging Medicine, December 12th through 15th at the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas. Check it out at worldhealth.net. That's worldhealth, one word, .net. And while you're there, sign up for the free longevity newsletter. Just look for the bouncing red ball. At worldhealth.net, also print out a page about the Las Vegas Congress and pass it along to your doctors. More than 3,500 healthcare professionals will convene at the Las Vegas Congress, where they will teach and demonstrate with hundreds of exhibitors about every anti-aging modality. Be sure to attend the World Congress on Anti-Aging Medicine, December 12th through 15th at the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas. Presented by the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. Visit worldhealth.net for more details. The 21st Annual Congress on Anti-Aging Medicine, proud sponsors of Here's to Your Health with Josh Lane and LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hey everyone, this is Richard Carr, Business Relations Manager for LA Talk Live. Did you know social media produces almost double the marketing leads of trade shows, telemarketing, direct mail, or even pay-per-click ads? And that about 46% of all online users count on social media when making that ever-important purchase decision. Hey, if you feel lost when it comes to social media, Top Tier Media can help you. Top Tier Media specializes in social media management and blogger outreach for beauty, fashion, health, and lifestyle brands. To learn more, go to www.toptiermedia.com. That's www.toptiermedia.com. Top Tier Media, the official social media marketing company of LA Talk Live and the Talk Live Broadcast Network.
Young Connection, your one-stop connection for all your graphic design and commercial printing needs. Young Connection is a full-service printing and media design company dedicated to providing the highest level of customer service and satisfaction. Young Connection provides swift response and rapid turnaround services for banners, brochures, business cards, letterheads, church bulletins, funeral programs, flyers, logo design, posters, and much, much more, all at an affordable price. Young Connection, the official printing company of LA Talk Live. Give them a call at 310-491-3336. That's 310-491-3336, or visit their website at www.youngconnection.com. That's www.youngconnection.com. Young Connection Printing and Media Services, proud sponsors of LA Talk Live, where it's more than just talk.
Hi, I'm Jerry Bell of the Daz Band in New Birth. And I'm Brahima Arsalan, inviting you to join us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time for Jerry Bell's R&B Soul Classics, baby. Join us as we play some of the greatest hits of soul and R&B and listen in to interesting discussions with the legends of the music. So don't you forget, join us on the Jerry Bell's R&B Soul Classics. You'll love it. Exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio, R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, and now Stitcher Radio. Or watch us and listen directly at latalklive.com, baby. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk, baby. We are music.
Hi, this is Starlet Quarles, and I'm inviting you to join us every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for a new show right here on LA Talk Live, The Dialogue, Real Talk, Real People. Join us as we discuss the topics that are relevant to today's generational leaders. So don't forget to tune in to The Dialogue, Real Talk, Real People, every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. right here on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, and now Stitcher Radio. Or watch and listen directly at latalklive.com. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Welcome back to Alayna's Beauty Talk and more. Before I forget, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, because I know we got and everybody here at the table, and happy Hanukkah. I actually thought it was tomorrow. I'm glad you came to tell me.
Tonight is it's Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Yes, tonight is the first night of Hanukkah.
I thought it was tomorrow night. So anyway, this has been an amazing show. I can't wait to do this again. I just... music and arts is just so important, and sometimes I don't think we have enough. We just don't take the time to really listen. So now I'm forcing you guys to listen and hear.
But it's also the educational system does not encourage that.
That, or because I teach fitness, I'm very much into health and fitness, and they don't teach that anymore either. So I mean, we really have to really help these kids to learn things that we got growing up. They're not getting anymore.
Even if you don't become a musician, let's say you just studied piano or cello or whatever for years, and you do not become a musician, but after a hard day at work, you come home and you can sit down and play some Chopin or Bach or Beethoven and soothe your soul,
How did you say Beethoven?
Beethoven.
Well, how did you just say it? I love that.
I never heard that. Beethoven.
I never heard it like that before. It sounded so beautiful.
That's my Texas accent.
But Sharon, it's beyond that. It's also how we're going to build audiences for our art form. Otherwise, if these people that haven't learned instruments don't have the appreciation for our world of classical music, we wouldn't have audiences anymore in the future.
Well, one of the things...
yeah, you have your own mic now.
I do. Oh, my gosh, where'd Bill go? He's heading for the County Museum. But, I'm music director for a series that occurs in Marina del Rey, California, and we're going into our 15th season, and Ruslan has played on it. It's a great series because it occurs right by the ocean. You've got boats on both sides. Now, the reason I'm saying this is I think that this kind of activity where you get first-class musicians, first-class symphony, first-class music, where people can bring their families, they can bring their blankets to lie down with their kids. The kids can even run around. The kids are not restricted to being in seats. But what I find is very, very interesting is that there are moments within the concert where the kids suddenly stop. Everything stops and something grabs them. Something compels them to listen. This is going to be remembered in their later life, Right. And it's going to lead them. And because what it is that very often, I think the confines or the context in which music is performed sometimes can be as important as the music that you perform, because I think we have a responsibility to make it more palatable to more people. Yes, we have to do it in concert halls, but we have to do it in other spaces as well, where people are more comfortable perhaps listening, so that those notes, those vibrations, those percussive sounds, those wonderful cello sounds, all of those overtones kind of seep into their body like good habits, and then they're going to remember that later on. So I'm very, very supportive of this kind of activity.
And what I wanted to say, when people, I go to high schools often enough, and say, oh, classical music, boring. What do you know about classical music? Classical music, it's not from the word, the root of the word, not from boring, it's because it's classy. People kind of started forgetting it a little bit, It's not boring at all, particularly if it's done on a high professional level. And then I like to compare music with food. There is a fast food, like McDonald's, Carl's Jr., that's what we very often hear now with the radio and television, unfortunately. Same like advertisement of McDonald's or Coca-Cola. And there is a fine food that you cannot particularly get drive-through. You have to go into the restaurant. Well, there is a fine art. So to get this kind of experience, you need to have Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, Farber. Or recording, or going to the concert hall. And by the way, it's not expensive at all, particularly in Los Angeles. Look, we just had Bill Bestel here. 50 shows free of charge every year.
At LACMA, which is easy to get to.
Exactly.
Beautiful venue, though.
Our concerts, Glendale Philharmonic concerts, tickets as cheap as $1. Well, we have, conductor circle, $100, etc. But it's very affordable. Balconies, $15. Mezzanine, $20.
You can sneak down.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we have group discounts.
Especially at the Baptist Church.
Yes,
it's beautiful.
In Los Angeles, it's possible to get these tickets close to nothing. It's entirely affordable. Many people, I know many parents, they will say, "Oh, we cannot afford it." You can. You just need to make a little bit effort. And it's a lot cheaper than sending your kids to, let's say, Britney Spears concert in Staples, where the tickets are $500 or $1,000, for instance. And frankly, with all the respect, in terms of the artistic experience, I'm not sure if that's the best experience that teenagers, that I would have my children, for instance, to have.
I think, too, it's incumbent on all musicians. I do this with a lot of my orchestra people. I'll say, you are the future of music as well. We appreciate that you have spent these 20, 30 years developing your art form, but you've got to start bringing people into the audience as well. I know Ruslan does that. I'm sure Sharon, and I know Armin. But I did this summer, and I said, each one of you has to be responsible for getting some people to this concert. After all, it is free, and they'll come and have a great experience. I had people coming up to me from the orchestra saying, I want to tell you, I have 50 people coming tonight to this concert, So I've been an advocate of this ever since I came to Los Angeles from the East Coast, that I try to be as much responsible for presenting the music as I am as getting the audience to come. And I think it's really significant.
And you're having concerts out in the Redland area?
I'm in Redland, San Bernardino. I'm around the country as well. I'm in Marina del Rey, Culver City, Torrance, and Las Vegas. So.
And if there's concerts all year going on in those areas, right?
Yes.
So how do people find them in a Culver City?
Well, there are. I think again the internet. Everyone famously knows that I don't have a computer, but I do know that the internet is an important way of finding out. You can Google. You can, as Ruslan said, you can Google the name of the person you want to see. Feta, Budrikov, Farber, Guzlimian. Then it'll list all the concerts. You can Google the type of music you want to see. There are the LA Weekly.
That's a good one.
It's a real good one. And then also the LA Times, although unfortunately of late the print has been very limited in their advertisement of the arts, but they do have a good online kind of a thing, latimes.com or whatever it is,
I read
for
that
the arts,
so
you can find these things in your neighborhood.
Well, there's a website called performancelive.com.
Right.
And there's also Jim Menninger.
Oh yeah, Jim.
Jim has a wonderful newsletter that lists everything that's going on.
That's chamber music mainly.
Yes, mainly chamber music.
Okay.
I think it's called chamber.
Jim Enninger's chamber music newsletter.
Chamber music newsletter. Jim Enninger.
Okay.
So it's easy to find him as well, and you can be on his list, and you'll get every week everything that's going on in LA in regard to chamber music.
Or simply come to, let's say, LACMA concerts and talk to the people. Ask them, where are you guys going next? Or in the programs, they will be written where the next concerts are happening.
True.
It's really easy.
It's
today
not
with the
difficult.
internet,
Yeah.
the world is
I'm
so
always
small.
on. I'm always on the internet.
Plus, public libraries have posters, flyers all over the place. It's amazing if you go into one of the LA public libraries or any of them. There's a table just filled with brochures. You can pick and choose.
And many churches and temples have their own concert series that are completely free all the time around town.
This show, we will get you out there. We will get you listening to new music. We want people to spread their wings and know more.
Yeah. It's interesting. One of the pieces we're doing on the concert with Sharon's cello concerto, we're doing a Bach double piano concerto. He wrote 3 of them for 2 pianos, actually for 2 harpsichords or clavichords. Now playing on the piano, that's okay. We're doing the 3rd of them, and in studying it, it's very interesting. Studying Bach's music, it relates. I find Bach almost like rock and roll, because Bach takes a tempo in a particular movement, and it's relentless. It starts at that tempo, ends at that tempo, and there's no variation in between. The other thing too, Bach's music, very often you wonder, it suddenly starts and it doesn't have any fanfare. There's no da 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 or anything like that. It's not like the Dvorak cello concerto or La Forza del Destino where they have fanfares. No, Bach just goes it just comes out of nowhere. It's really amazing. Keeps that tempo, and it's if you were to put a rock beat like pop 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 pop, you could do that. You could put a drum to that, and it would stay the same. And also at the end of it, there's none of like Beethoven's music where it's a pop 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 pop. No, Bach just goes da pop 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 pop. It just ends very much like a rock and roll band. They just sort of end their music. There's no ending. So there are relationships between classical music and popular music.
Do you teach this?
Yeah, to people. Yes, I give lectures all the time. I'm lecturing all the time.
Yeah, because you're amazing.
Yeah, but this kind of thing exists, and very often I find if you can relate that to a young musician or to a person who maybe has never gone to it. I can't tell you all the people that come up to me. I've never been to a classical concert before. You haven't. These are 17, 16-year-olds. Yes, someone said, I have these free tickets, and I came with my girlfriend. I said, well, did you like it? Oh, did I like it? I can't wait to come back to the next one. Once you initiate them, they'll usually be back.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
They mustn't be made to feel that it's something way above their head that they could never relate to.
Yeah. I'm not sure where this perception came from, who enforced it onto the people, why they decided that it's too difficult for them or too boring for them.
I think part of it is because it's a European product initially, as it were, I guess, from the previous centuries. It may have something to do with that, and it may be intimidating or challenging without knowing anything about it.
Well, a lot of it came from a lot of people involved in music. I know when I was younger, I was into Alexander Berlovsky and Artur Rubinstein. I actually worked with Stravinsky. And these were always older people, and I think that perception came. Nowadays, that is certainly not the case. No. So many of the great musicians that are now playing are younger people. Look at Ruslan, for that matter. I mean, I have to tell you a story. Ruslan played a cello concerto with me just a couple of weeks ago. And we were at a dinner together, and someone was giving a speech on at the dinner, and they said, "Oh, I was at the rehearsal. Watching Ruslan play, and it was wonderful." And she said, "It almost made me wish I was a cello." Whoa!
Is it hot in here? I think that people think that. People go to the movies or to concerts or in order to take a break from reality, from their daily lives, from work, from, the wife, the kids, whatever, And they just think that it's going to be more fun to go to a movie and hear lots of, crashing cars or whatever, Tom Cruise hanging from a wire or whatever. And that's...
Popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. And it's great. But when you go to a concert of concert music, classical music or concert music, however you want to call it, you do not have the distraction of loudness in the capacity of a theater, meaning, all the sound effects and the cars and, and the boom here and boom there. It's only music and yourself and your soul and your imagination. You can close your eyes, and within one piece of music that can be even 5 minutes, everybody is going to feel something different. If you close your eyes and you let yourself be connected to the music, it can bring memories. It can bring sorrow. It can bring happiness. It can bring so many emotions that will enable you to connect yourself to yourself and not being so influenced by other elements that are there in a cinema. And it's just an opportunity to go deeper into yourself and be with yourself. You don't have to talk to anyone. You don't have to eat popcorn. You don't have to do anything. You just have to close your eyes and listen and let the music guide you.
Our type of music projects beautiful emotions. Someone said that
Does.
beauty will save the world, but I want to say, come on our concert and save yourself.
It's true, and have cake.
And free cake in addition to...
You know what? I just want to say, I think our music does portray beautiful things, but I do think that in the classical realm, I think what's so important, because of the scope of the training, the scope of the many musicians that play it, the colors, the layers, it's got such a multitude of things going on that we don't always project beautiful. Sometimes we project ugly. Sometimes we project sensuous and sexy. Sometimes we project playful. I think that our particular form of music projects possibly a broader range of the human experience than any other type of music.
Yes.
Now, and I think that that's sometimes it can be maybe disturbing to people, because without even knowing this, sometimes some of those emotions or sometimes of that psychological underpinning seeps into them, and they might feel. I've heard people say, "Oh, that kind of made me feel a little uncomfortable at that time." But then it was okay. By the end, I wasn't feeling uncomfortable anymore. So I think that is part of it. The other thing that I think is part of it, and when I do give these lectures, or if I go into the schools, because I work with the schools a lot as well, I always tell them about the music. I laugh with them about it. I try to come up with anecdotes that are funny about the music, or perhaps relate to them. But I always say to them, and I think this is an important place, I say, please come to the concert. Do you think you'll come? Yeah, I think I'll come. Oh, good. I said, no, I want you absolutely, please come backstage, find me, we'll talk about it, or I want you to meet some of the musicians. I think that's why this personal contact is really, really important, that they feel that they have some kind of impact with the performer.
All right, we got one more caller, and then we're going to have to wrap up the show. Okay. Hello, caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I find the discussion fascinating. When I was young, I was turned on to classical music through rock and roll. Like, for example, the Beatles, the cello passages in Eleanor Rigby, and the orchestrations by George Martin, and then progressive rock. I remember I had a class at Cal State Northridge where Terry Bowers, who was a baritone opera singer, brought in pictures at an exhibition by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And that turned me totally on to classical music.
Whichever way you can get to it.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
So you feel this is Frank talking. Nice to hear you. I knew Terry Bowers actually, and so you feel that exposure. We have to find areas of exposure that might expand our own particular tastes. Is that true? Oh, I guess he's gone.
There? Are you there?
Okay. They were good comments, but so that's what I would take away from it. That somebody would say, "Okay, we can do this." For example, and with Sharon's music too. I was going to ask Sharon this. I ask always the composers this, especially when they're involved with film, and I've dealt with a lot of them. I think it would be wonderful if film composers would find a way to make their symphonic projection on the screen more available to people like me, because sometimes it's daunting. You have to go through Warner Brothers, you have to go through Disney.
Yeah.
And I think that it's great. A lot of these film scores end up in the vault, and they're never brought back out again.
Correct.
And I think that's a big loss to me as a conductor.
I think you're totally right, and I think there's nothing for a composer that is more amazing on a spiritual level, on every level, than to hear your own music being played by an orchestra.
Right, live, yeah.
You know, live. It's just amazing.
Apart from the...
Yeah, so, you know, even if you record with an orchestra and then it's on a soundtrack and everything, but does it live again? And because there's so many soundtracks. It's not only John Williams, you know, and Star Wars and everything that everybody plays all the time in orchestras. There's so many treasures of soundtracks. And I think if conductors would actually approach, composers, current composers, contemporary composers who write orchestral music for for films, and ask them to make this into a suite, you will have so many very, very happy composers who would do it in a heartbeat, because this is what we look for. We would love to have our music, you know, being played for a large audience with a large of course. You know.
All right, I have to cut you off just briefly because we got 2 minutes or a few minutes more. We got to close out the show. This went so fast.
Yes.
We really got into this great discussion. I have to have you back because we didn't even get near finishing it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to talk about the next show. Because
Okay.
you guys are an amazing crew. I mean, I'm so honored to have you all here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Great.
This is gonna
Great pleasure.
Yeah, this is going to continue because we just need to inspire people.
Yeah, and music is inspiration. I think you asked Ruslan before to say one thing, you know, one word. What would you say? I would say music is inspiration.
Inspiration,
It is.
of course.
All right, we've got to go around the table, give our final thoughts.
Well, people, come on our concerts December 1st, LACMA, Bing Theater, LACMA meaning Los Angeles Museum of Contemporary Art. It's 6 p.m. this coming Sunday, December 1st, free admission, no cake. Arrive early, most probably it will be sold out. Next concert is January 5th, Sunday, 4 p.m. at the First Baptist Church of Glendale. Free parking, free cake. Tickets on sale. Black Friday, keep it in mind, is coming up. It's downtown Glendale, 209 North Louise Street, right behind Alex Theater. Once again, January 5th, 4 p.m. We'll be doing Carnival of the Animals with Emo Phillips, celebrity comedian. We'll be doing Sharon Faber cello concerto. We'll be doing Bach.
So it's going to be a 2 to 3 hour show?
No, it's about an hour and a half.
Okay.
It's about an hour and a half. Frank Feta will be conducting Glendale Philharmonic. I'll do solo. And Emo Phillips will be narrating the Carnival of the Animals. Yana Reznik and Rufus Choi, by the way, will be the pianists.
Thanks for mentioning that.
Yes. Also phenomenal pianists, very well established, of the younger generation. I guarantee you, your jars will drop down and it's not going to be boring at all. You'll be hypnotized by that, what you will see happening on the stage and the entire venue. So please come.
All right, Frank, your final words?
Yes, Ruslan, it's great first being on your show, and it's been really thrilling, and it did go terribly fast, and being with these distinguished people. And I want to say to our listeners, I think really one of the best things, if you can, obviously come to the concerts that have been mentioned, but also Google our names and see where we are performing. Many of us are performing together and performing in venues that are accessible to the greater Southern California region. Google our names, come to our concerts, bring your families, and then come to see us. Talk with us. Ask us why we chose the music. Let's talk about it. And this, I think, is a way that we can all make connections, because that's what music does. It not only inspires us to great things, but it helps us to make connections, which I think is really important, especially in this digital age where we're really hooked in electrically all the time. This will give you a real chance to communicate with a real live human being and also hear human beings playing live music, which I think you'll find an experience that is always satisfying. So we'll see you soon, I hope.
You'll be back on the show soon. I'm
Thank
going
you.
to talk about the next show as soon as we get done with this one.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be among these unbelievable artists. And I'm just thinking January 5th, and I'm only on my second movement, so maybe I should start.
Go home. Go to your studio.
You better push it, yeah.
I love it.
We composers, sometimes they ask, what is our inspiration? And many times we would say, deadline.
I see that. And your final thought?
It's been a great pleasure to be here with friends and colleagues and new acquaintances. And thank you, Alayna. And I want to tell everybody to really open yourselves to any of the creative arts. It will help you uplift your day and your week from the routines of everyday life. Come to our concerts and keep Googling.
Yes. All right. So everybody, this has been an amazing show. We will talk about the next show because it's just so much to say. We can't get it all done in one show. But anyway, next week I'm changing the subject. My cousin is coming on. She's an amazing exercise instructor, and one of my other favorites is coming on the show. I can't even think of his name because now I'm thinking about music and exercise. But anyway, it's all going to be about how to stay fit through the holidays, how to watch your food through the holidays so that you don't gain that 20 pounds through the holidays. So it should be a lot of fun. So everybody have a great week. Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
And
Happy
let's talk about the next show.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yay.
Wish I could pause you like DVR and rewind all my favorite parts to see your smile when I hit play. You graced the cover of a magazine, but you declined the opportunity. Cause you so different, the way you living is paving a new way. Cause there's no doubting, I'm all about it. No more searching, love, I found it. Ended up with my heart and soul. About time that you know. If you just believe and see like I see, you'll know that the world is yours to own. Just follow my lead beyond material things. It's time to let you know you're better than beautiful. You're better than beautiful. You're better than beautiful. You're better than beautiful. Better than beautiful.
Thank you for tuning in to LA Talk Live, reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we're more than just talk. Stay tuned.
Girl, stop it. The only thing that's fat is my chubby wallet. But it's about to lose weight. I'm about to spend it on you. We be walking around the mall with two shakes. She like my style, my swag, and my similes. Let's just keep on kissing, never stop like infinity.